Hello, Dream Academy, friends and family. This is Tracy Cornan, founder, educator, director of Dream Academy, and this is my first ever Facebook Live. And so this time is all about adaptability and change, and so here I am, and I will be teaching about 45-minute yoga and meditation class. I have this resource that I'm using today, which is a wonderful resource for any families looking to bring some more activity at home during this time. It's a Yoga Planet deck, and it has 50 cards of different activities. So I've selected a couple handfuls for us to go through today, and I'll show you what those will be. What some of you might not know about me is that I, in most of my 20 years as being a teacher, I have also been a fitness instructor, and some of that time was spent teaching yoga. Most of my yoga teaching experience has been with children, and I really love working with kids hands-on, helping them to get into fun poses like inversions and balancing poses. So I definitely will miss that about teaching today. But this is next best thing, right? So let me show you what we're going to be going through today. And in order to get ready, you'll need a space. So I have my mat behind me. If you have a mat, great. If you don't have a mat, then just create a little space. And a water bottle is another great thing to have. We'll take a few sips here and there throughout our yoga session today. I'll take one right now. And since we're going to be doing some breathing, you'll need a tissue, probably need a tissue. So you have those things, and I'll give you a couple seconds a little later to get those things if you don't have them already. So today, the poses that we're going to be going through we'll start with some rainbow breathing, which is a way to warm up your spine and get your breath and body connected. And then we'll be doing left, right, or alternate nostril breathing together, and that's when you might need your tissue. Followed by doing a little exercise to get rid of unwanted things in our mind and feelings. So that will be a really good thing for this time. And then we'll go into a sun salutation, Surya Namaskara A, sun salutation A. And I will use a lion breath for part of one of those sun salutations. And that can be also a really great detoxing breath. And then we will go into bound frog to get some twists, which is really good for our digestion. And then we will do crow, which is just fun. I love this pose. It's a great balancing pose. Most kids can do this pose, and I'll give you some tips to make it feel really safe. And then plow pose is next, and I will use plow pose as a way to transition if those of you that want to do shoulder stand. I know I have some gymnast students out there that might want to try. And then at the end, we will have bow pose, which is a nice back bend. I will have a few instruments that I'll be using today, and so let's get started. While I set these cards out, this is a good time for you to go and grab your mat and your water bottle or your tissue, okay? So I'll see you in just a few seconds, and then adjust the camera. Here we go. Okay, so you can go get anything that you need, your tissue, your water bottle. I will get this ready. Okay, I'm going to keep my tissue and water bottle close. And to get us started today, I will give the singing bowl 3 chimes. So we'll get the singing bowl 3 chimes. So when you have all of your things ready, have a seat on your mat, and we will start with our rainbow breath. And so just give a little bit of a wiggle in your shoulders and sit up nice and tall. And our first breath will be in, and we'll open our chest and lift our head back slightly and take a big breath in. And as we breathe out, we'll allow our shoulders to then come forward and to lean back and feel a stretch in between our shoulder blades and breathe out. Again, so we're going to sit up nice and tall, bring our shoulders back and down, open our chest and breathe in. And then we can breathe out. Don't worry about the way you're breathing right now. We're just getting warmed up. I'll turn to the side so you can see. So again, we're breathing in. And then when we breathe out, you want to pull your belly button in and round. And hold onto your shins and lean back. One more. We'll breathe in together. And then pull your belly button in and we will breathe out together. Very good. I'm going to come back up close to the camera because I think it's a little bit easier to teach right, left, or left, right, alternate nostril breathing a little bit closer. So when we do right, left breathing or left, right breathing, this really engages our parasympathetic nervous system, which helps you feel calm and relaxed, and also helps your body to heal. So if your body's trying to fight off germs, or you want to stay healthy when your body is engaging the parasympathetic nervous system, it allows us, it supports our immune system. And so we start by putting our pointer finger and our middle finger. It's kind of like an anchor right in between our head. And then our thumb is going to be closing in our right nostril by lifting up and down, and this might be backwards to you. And then our ring finger is going to be opening and closing our left nostril, okay? Your pinky finger can help your ring finger if you want, but I just rest my pinky finger. And so you will take a breath first by plugging your right nostril and leaving your left nostril open and taking a breath in. And then plug your left nostril. So they're both plugged for just a second, and then open your right and breathe out. Then breathe in. Close your right nostril, lift your left side, and breathe out. So that was one cycle. So we're going to do 6 cycles together, and that's why you might need a tissue, is if you get a little bit of a stuffy nose. And for me, sometimes it's hard to breathe, but as you keep going through it, it'll get easier to breathe. And sometimes by lowering my jaw a little bit when I breathe, it helps as well. But don't be frustrated if it feels like you can't breathe, and if you need to pause to take a breath, of course, do so. So we'll do 6 cycles of those together, and I'm going to go back to my mat, and you want to make sure you have your tissue handy. So take a sip of water, get your tissue handy. Oh, I have to adjust the camera, sorry about that. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so put your fingers in the middle of your forehead, and you will first close your right nostril, take a breath in through your left, close your left, and breathe out through your right. In through your right, out through your left. In through your left. That was 1. Out through the right. In through the right. Close and out through the left. That was 2. Breathe in left. Close and switch. Out through through the right, out through the left. Halfway there, 3 more. Breathe in through the left. Close and breathe out through the right. In through the right. Close the right, out through the left. That's 4 cycles, 2 more. Breathe in, left. Switch and breathe out right. In through the right. Close and out through the left. 1 more cycle. In through the left. Close, out through the right. In through the right. Close and out through the left. Great. Use your tissue if you need to, and if you are using your tissue, make sure that when you're done with yoga, you wash your hands right away before you go give someone in your family a hug. Make sure you wash those hands. So this was a nice little tissue my mom got me. It has a pretty little flower on it. You can't probably see from back there, but anyway, next we're going to do wash away. So we're going to get into a standing position. So bring yourself into a standing position. I like to keep my legs crossed and push myself up, but you can get up in whatever way is comfortable for you. I see that I need to lift the camera a little bit, so I'm just going to do that. Lift the camera a little bit. There we go. Okay, hopefully that's good. And so we will wash away our worries. So we want to have nice, strong feet on the earth, and our knees a little bit bent and also nice and sturdy. So we don't have loosey-goose knees, we have nice, sturdy legs, and the looseness is going to be at the top and twisting in our waist. And we'll just start by twisting in our waist. This is a nice, gentle twist. Nice, easy warm-up, almost like your arms are strings, and they're just flopping from side to side. And we're going to start thinking about, what do we want to wash away? What feelings or what things do we want to wash away? And once we have something that we want to wash away, we want to imagine that just how a washing machine washes away the dirt from our clothes, that we're washing away the things that we don't want through this exercise. I'm going to wash away feelings of worry. So I'm washing, and I might just go a little bit faster, but again, keeping my feet and my knees nice and steady. And I might also wash away some feelings of disappointment. You don't have to justify your feelings or explain them. Okay, let's just do a few more twists. We want to keep our bodies and our minds healthy. This is a great exercise to help us manage our big feelings we might have. Something that makes us angry or sad or disappointed or frustrated or worried. Okay, good work. And then give it a little bit of a shake. And now we'll get ready for some of our yoga, our asanas, and we're getting into more movement. So we'll come to the front of your mat. And first we'll just do a sun salutation without the lion breath, and then we'll add the lion breath. We'll do it 2 times. We'll do the lion breath the second time. So just stand nice and strong, with your arms by your side, and your feet, you can have your toes touch and take a big breath in and reach up. And then as you breathe out, you can bring your arms out to the side like an airplane or a swan, and you can dive down. Keep your back flat as long as you can, and then roll your back and let yourself hang for just a second, finishing your exhale. Then put your hands on your shins, And give a gentle lift and flatten your back and look up and breathe in. And then bring your hands down and you can step back into plank. And here you can come down or you can rest your knees if you need a little bit of support. Either way, you want to come all the way down to your belly. And when you get down to your belly, flip your toes over and slide your hands back just a tiny bit. And keep your head facing forward with your nose towards the mat and just breathe in and come up slightly. And exhale, come down. Don't worry about bringing your neck up. Just keep your head straight and lift up a little bit higher. And then come back down again. This time when you come up, press the tops of your feet down so that your legs lift up off the mat and press yourself all the way up. So breathe in and come on up. And then keep your shoulders down away from your ears. And now you can lift your head, finish your breath up. And then you're gonna come into down dog. You can flip your feet over, or if you need to rest your knees down, you can flip your feet over and then come up into down dog. And our first down dog is just going to be nice and gentle. So we maybe can pedal our legs a little bit to get our calves stretched and warmed up. Look up at your hands. Make sure your hands are spread and your middle or pointer finger is pointing towards the top of the mat. Press down through your fingertips. And then bend your knees a little bit and lift your hips up to the sky. Maybe you can even open your legs a little bit farther and then allow your heels to come down and straighten your legs. All right, let's take 2 breaths here. Breathe in. Breathe out. And again, breathe in. And breathe out. Great, and then walk your feet forward, breathing in, and then breathing out. Good work. Finishing breathing out. Bring your hands to your shins so you can now breathe in and flatten your back again and lift up. And then come forward nice and relaxed, and let's roll up like a rag doll this time. So just stay nice and loose and roll up nice and slowly all the way till you are standing. Good work. I'm going to take off my sweatshirt because it gets a little bit hot. So make sure you're comfortable when you are doing your yoga. And we're going to do one more together and we'll pause in the middle of this one for our lion breath. So come back up towards the top of your mat. Stand up nice and strong. We'll take a big breath in. And then we'll breathe out, coming down with our arms out to the side, all the way to dangling just a little. Then we'll bring our hands to our shins, press our hands so we can lift and flatten our backs, and our knees are probably bent a little bit here as we breathe in. And then we'll bring our hands back down, and this time if you want to, you can try jumping back or you can step back again. It's up to you. Jump back, and when you jump back and land, make sure you have a little bit of a bend in your elbow to protect your elbows. And now you can bring your knees down again if you want to come down on your knees, or you can stay in plank and come all the way down. Flip your feet over, slide your hands back a little bit, and we'll do those gentle lifts. So inhale, gently coming up and down. Inhale, gently coming up again. Exhale, down. And this time we're going to inhale, come up. And then as we exhale, we're going to come up into child's pose because we're getting ready for our lion breath. So we'll take just a quick rest here, getting ready for our lion's breath. We're going to breathe in. And then when we breathe out, we're going to come forward onto our bellies. And we're going to stick out our tongue, go. Try that again. Come into child's pose and breathe in. And then when you come out, do our lion's breath. And this time, just how last time when we push the tops of our feet down to lift our legs. We're gonna do that. This is our last line of breath. Breathing in child's pose. And then come forward, press the tops of the feet down so your legs come up off the mat and lift up slightly and go. Good work. Flip our feet over and come into down dog. So first, bend your knees slightly, lift your bottom up to the sky, then straighten your legs and let your heels come down. They don't have to touch the floor. Right now, my shoulders are kind of hugging up by my ears, so I'm going to relax my shoulders away from my ears, and I'm going to lift my forearms a little bit. So bottoms up, rest the heels down, and then bring the shoulders away from the ears. And let's take 2 breaths here in down dog. Let's start shifting our breath to be in and out through our nose. 1 more breath in down dog. Now on this inhale in, we're going to look up, and you can walk or hop your feet forward as you breathe out. And then your hands will come to your shins. Breathe in and lift with a flat back. And exhale, relax down. And then we'll come up with our arms coming up like we did on the way down, breathing in. And then our arms come down by our sides together here. Good work. How many of you notice you can breathe a little bit better now? I can breathe a little bit better now after those left-right breathing and those down dogs. Okay, so we're going to go into our bound frog. And there's a couple ways you can get down into bound frog. You can hold on to something nearby and bend down. If it's uncomfortable for you to bend all the way down, maybe you're practicing with like someone older in your family and it's uncomfortable for them, or maybe you had knee surgery or you hurt your knee or something and you can't get down all the way, you can sit on a chair. But if you can't get down all the way, open up your feet a little bit wider than your hips and then come on down. This pose is called Malasana, but there's lots of different names you can call poses, and what I love about these cards is they give them really fun names. So this one's called Bound Frog, and we're going to get into it together. So before we get into it, we want to practice pushing the backs of our arms, our triceps, into our knees so we have nice firm contact, and then that also helps us to press our hands together so we can feel the resistance of our arm pushing into our knee and our knee pushing into our arm. We're trying to keep that resistance about the same so it feels really strong contact between our arms and our knees. And we're just going to take a nice breath here, in and out through our nose. On the next breath, going to bring one hand down. It doesn't matter as long as you do one side and then the other. Bring one hand down and then reach the other arm up as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, you can take that arm and you can bring it behind you. And then you take this hand that's on the floor and you bend your elbow and bring it up. So I'm going to turn so you can see what it looks like. But my knee is sticking out from behind my arm, and my hands are together. Now when I look over the shoulder that's open at the top, it actually helps me to twist, and it helps me to reach my hands closer together. And then we'll just take a breath here. Breathe in, and breathe out. Great. And then on this breath, breathe in and let go and reach. And then breathe out and come down. Okay? I'll do the other side now, facing forward, so you can see it from the front. Okay, so again, take a breath here in the middle. Breathe in and breathe out. Now put your other arm down on the floor. Breathe in and reach the other arm up. And And then as you breathe out, let it come back behind you. Bend your bottom arm and bring your hands together. If you can't reach your hands together, you can just reach your hands towards each other, or you could hold on to the back of your shirt or the inside of your leg, of the back of your leg. And then remember to look over that shoulder and breathe in and breathe out. Great work. Okay, breathe in and release this time. And exhale into the center. Great. Okay, the next pose is really, really fun. It's called crow pose. And so in order to feel safe doing crow pose, it might be a good idea, even though you probably don't need it, it does help with feeling safe to have a pillow or a blanket. So I'm going to get a blanket that will be folded up, but you can get a pillow from your couch or from your bed, or just grab a blanket and fold it up quickly. So if you want to have about a few seconds to go grab a blanket, I'll go grab a blanket too, okay? Okay, once you have a blanket, you can put it down on your mat. I'm noticing it's really bright behind me because the sun is starting to come out. It's getting really nice and warm outside. Anyway, so the blanket is down, and that's to help me if I feel like I might fall over. I'll show you facing forward and you can watch, and then we can do it together facing our blanket. And so just how you had your down dog and you had your hands spread wide, you're going to do the same thing for crow. And just how for the bound frog, when we started, you pressed your knee into the backs of your arms, you're going to do the same thing for crow. So you've already practiced some of these things already. And what you do is you put your hands about, 2 hand widths in front of you. So you can go from your toe 1, 2, and then go up from there. So 2 hand widths up from your toes. And then you're gonna lean forward and squeeze the backs of your arms with your knees and lift your bottom up in the air. And then you can lift one foot and bring it back down. And then lift the other foot and bring it back down. Okay, so let's start there. So facing your blanket, that helps you to feel safe just in case you feel like you might fall. At least it's a nice little soft cushion. Squeeze the backs of your arms with your knees. Your hands are about 2 hand widths in front of you. Pushing down on your hands, pushing down through all of your fingertips so you can see the nail change color in your hand. Lean forward, lift your bottom up a little bit, squeeze into the backs of your arms, lift one leg, and then lift the other foot. And now try it again, but this time try holding it up, leaning forward a little bit, lift one foot, and then lift the other foot. And squeeze it in, take a breath, and then come back down. Okay, let's try it one more time. Hands nice and firmly planted on the ground. Ready, we're gonna fly like a crow. Lift one foot, then the other foot. Squeeze our arms with our knees. Take a breath. And then come back down. Good work. And then give your wrists a little bit of a shake because they just did a lot of hard work. And so we want to take care of our wrists. So just do some wrist twirls. You can gently stretch. Very good. All right. Move your blanket or your pillow out of the way because you won't need that anymore. And we're going to do an inversion. Inversion means we're going to go upside down. So I know some of my really brave gymnast students out there will be really good at this pose. And again, you don't, like just how with crow, you don't have to lift your feet up. Maybe you just lift one foot up. With plow pose, you don't have to go all the way up straight. Maybe you just stay with your legs over your head. It's up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. So hold on to the backs of your legs and help yourself to roll down. And you want to make sure you're not too high up on your mat. So I'm going to scoot my body down so that I don't bump into my my piece of furniture there. Okay, so my hands are going to support my lower back when I do this exercise. And so you want to get your hands ready like they're going to carry a pizza to the table, like pizza hands. Strong hands, just like you did for crow and for down dog. But they're going to go on your back. So there's two ways that you can lift your legs up. You can do them bent and kind of roll back like this and get your hands underneath, or you can bring your legs straight and you can start to bring your legs over your head. Whichever way is comfortable for you. You can bring your legs up over your head, and then you want to take your elbow and bring it closer to your body. So you don't want your elbows out like this. You want your elbows pointing down towards the mat. Your elbows pointing straight towards the mat. Once you feel like your hands are secured on your lower back, then you can straighten your legs and see if you can touch your toes behind you. And you can push a little bit to give yourself support. And then if you want to, stay pushing on your lower back to give you support. You can bring your legs up to shoulder stand. Take a few breaths. And then come down. You can come back down into plow. And then bend your knees and roll slowly out of plow. There you go. And to come up from plow, hands behind your legs, and you can rock all the way up. Okay? One thing that you can do to help yourself get into plow is you can also do it, you'd have the wall. If you sit up against a wall, you can have the wall help you. Or you could have a chair help you, or you could have a sister or a parent help you. So now we will do our last pose before we do some meditation, some Shavasana. And it's called bow pose, and it's a back bend pose. So right before, we're just going to give our bodies a little bit of a stretch after that. So we're going to come to tabletop, hands and knees. We're going to breathe in, and just like we're a cow or a horse with a saggy back for someone to ride, we're going to breathe in here in cow, and then pull our belly button in, and we're going to push like an angry Halloween cat or a scared cat, and breathe out. Breathe in for cow. Our body just did a lot of hard work, so we want to take care of our spine, and breathe out. Good. Now we're going to come onto our belly. So a nice way to come onto your belly gently is come down into child's pose, reach your arms out, come onto your forearms, and then reach your legs out to come down onto your belly. For bow pose, you will bend one knee and reach towards your ankle. Try to grab your ankle and not your foot. If you can grab your ankle, that would be best. Otherwise, you can grab the top of your foot. But if you can, grab down towards your ankle. Then bend the other knee and grab down towards your ankle again. And now when you push your legs away from your bottom, your feet away from your bottom, your chest will come up. And then you have bow pose, and you can also lift your legs. And then you can do a little rock. We'll take a breath here. One more breath. And then bring your heels closer to your bottom. Relax and let go. Good work. Bring your hands by your armpits and push in, and we'll come up into child's pose. So bring your feet together, open your knees wide, and come down and reach your arms forward in child's pose. Take a breath in here and out. Now reach over to one side and then put your head back down. Take a breath in and out. And come back to the middle. Take a breath in and out. And then come back to the other side. Take a breath in and out. And go ahead and come back into the middle for our last breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Awesome. So now we can come down and on our backs and get ready for Shavasana. So we'll just do one little gentle twist in Shavasana. Before we do Shavasana, we'll do one little gentle twist. So take your knees and bring them to one side, and then reach your arm and look over the other side. So your arms are out. Like when we did swan dive coming down, they're out to the sides. Your legs go one way, your head goes the other way. Take a breath here and out. Take a breath in. And when you breathe out, use your muscles as you breathe out to bring your legs back up into the middle. Now take a breath in here. And then bring your knees to the other side as you breathe out. And now look over your other shoulder and take a breath here. On your next breath, breathe in. And as you breathe out, use your breathing out to pull your legs back up into the middle. And here's how you get comfortable in Shavasana. In Shavasana, start by getting your shoulders back and down. So I put a little bit of pressure on my head and my lower back so I can lift my shoulders up. And then I rotate my shoulders back and down really dramatically, and then I lay down. And that kind of helps to keep my shoulders pulled down away, and it really keeps my chest muscles open. And then I let my hands come down by my side. Now for your feet, really stretch one foot really, really long, stretch the other foot really, really long, stretch them both, and then relax and let your feet open up to the side. And here you can relax in Shavasana. When you breathe, you can feel your belly go in and out. In and out. And you can just breathe comfortably. Now you stay here in Shavasana. Don't move. You stay here. I'm going to get up because I'm going to play you an instrument for a minute or two during Shavasana. So you stay there nice and relaxed. Close your eyes. And this is a really great instrument to play. My friend David Romero gave me this tongue drum and also the singing bowl that I played earlier. So I'll just play for a couple minutes and you enjoy it and just rest in Shavasana. Okay? All right. Thank you very much for tuning in for our very first ever live Facebook class with Dream Academy. And I really miss everybody, and I hope that you all are taking care during this time. At the end of yoga, we often say Om together, and we often also say Namaste. So Om has 3 sounds, A, O, so we'll say that together, or you can just listen if you'd like. And then at the end, we'll say Namaste, and I'll tell you what that means after we say Om. So take a big breath in and reach up. Oh, if you've already sat up, join me here in stretching. If you're still laying down, take a nice big stretch. And curl over onto one side if you haven't yet sat up. And if you all now can join in the seated position, bring our hands to our hearts. And we'll take a big breath in through our nose and we'll sing Om together. So big breath in through your nose. And Namaste means the light in me sees the light in you, in its easiest translation. And oftentimes at the end of yoga, we will bring our thumbs to our mind's third eye and bow and say Namaste. Namaste. Thank you again. I hope you all have a great weekend and are loving the extra cuddles you get at home with your family. Sending you all the best. Take care.